Well, the curfew was lifted last night after the riots in Baltimore throughout the week, but there's still a storm of controversy and criticism following a prosecutor's decision to charge 6 police officers in connection with the death of Freddie Gray. Our next guest says she probably overcharged. Joining us right now is famed attorney Alan Dershowitz, the author of Taking the Stand, My Life in the Law. He joins us live. Good morning to you.
Morning.
When you take a look, and we're going to put up some of the, among the charges filed against the police officers, and it's quite a list. Second degree depraved heart murder, involuntary manslaughter, second degree murder, misconduct in office, false imprisonment, things like that, scattered among the 6 officers. You say, from what you have heard, there is no murder there.
There doesn't seem to be evidence of murder. Murder generally requires an intention to kill. Nobody wanted to kill this guy, or such extreme conduct that you know somebody's going to die, like shooting at a moving bus without concern if anybody's going to die. What this impresses me as is a decision made to prevent future riots. Now, that's commendable. You want to make sure there are no riots, but a prosecutor shouldn't be listening to the crowd. And what I worry about is when I hear the crowd saying, some in the crowd saying, unless there's a conviction, we're going to riot again. You can't have justice by crowd. Look, there's a serious problem here, and there is a lot of police abuse in some cities.
Sure. But
you don't respond to that by scapegoating individual policemen and overcharging them to make the crowd go away. That's not justice.
So, and the problem is, and you know this, if she overcharges, there's a real possibility that none of these charges are going to stick.
Well, that's what's happened. Conviction. That's what happened in Florida with Angela Corey when she overcharged George Zimmerman and got an acquittal as the result of that. So what some prosecutors do is they mortgage the future to produce a good result in the present. And they did stop the riots.
People calm down.
They calmed down, but that's not the object of justice. We have to remember the presumption of innocence and due process of law apply to everybody, including policemen. Look, if these guys took him on a rough ride, deliberately intending to hurt him, and he died, that may be manslaughter, but the evidence has to support that.
Sure.
I haven't seen any evidence of a rough ride yet. That may be a surmise. Let's treat this case the way our Constitution requires that all cases against anybody charged with a crime are treated. Presumption of innocence, due process of law. Better 10 guilty, go free, than 1 innocent, be wrongly convicted. And in the effort to try to prevent riots, almost nobody's focusing on that. Even the American Civil Liberties Union, in its initial statement praising the indictment, didn't mention the presumption of innocence, due process, or anything relating to the rights of these policemen.
They were just in a hurry.
Well, you can understand the hurry, but it's not a justification. You can't ever ignore the due process of law and the presumption of innocence. That's the bulwark of our American Constitution.
Well, let's see what happens next. Alan Dershowitz, thank you very much.